besides the obvious, and what he's done, what's the worst thing about this guy? Did you ever have just some sense? You seem to be pretty together with who you date, the people you hang around with. You seem to know a lot about people. Was there some impression he gave you that was negative?
The whole time we were together?
Yeah. Anything negative that sticks out?
I didn't think anything negative. I mean, I have preferences. I thought he was I don't want to use the word clingy because that's fucked up. He was he was a lot more into me than I was into him. And it didn't make...
time?
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed his company, though. I mean, enough so that I kept everything going despite the situation. And, I mean... it didn't scare me or anything. It's just I don't move that fast.
Okay.
So I think things
were
moving.
What were his long-term plans with you? What did he discuss with you?
I mean, we'd bullshit about it every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, I asked him, I was like, if you didn't have that big house, because he didn't want to live in it, and he had made it very clear he didn't pick that out, none of that. I was like, well, if you could have a house that you wanted, what would your house look like? And he would tell me, he's like, I want a little ranch home, it doesn't need all these floors, just a few bedrooms, enough space for my kids, maybe some property so they can run around, 2-car garage, maybe 3, put the old sports car in there, because he liked cars, stuff like that. And I tell him, I'm like, I'm simple too, so if you end up doing that and we end up staying together, let's do it, but it was never sell your house, let's go buy a house. It was very...
Did you ever say anything about getting married?
To me?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a thing where it was offhandedly, one day maybe this will happen, but again, it was these were... I did not take these as very, deep conversations. It wasn't this is when we're going to get married, this is what's going to go on.
Okay.
And
you knew him for how long?
Brief.
Total, just not dating him, but I mean, when were you first aware of him? How long?
I don't know, probably the beginning of June or maybe May, so 2.5, 3 months, tops. I mean, this is all, really fresh. All of this is compounded into, a very small time frame.
Very quick.
Yes.
Has he worked for the company for a while?
Yeah. I don't know how long. I want to say 5 or 6 years off the top of my head, but I don't know. But
Did he supervise people? You know anything about that?
Yeah, kind of. So he was an operator, and the way the operators are set up at Anadarko is they have operator 1, operator 2, operator 3. But then each operator is, broke down into, the basic guy, the medium guy, and the foreman. And then it starts all over again. So he is still on level 1 of the operators, but he's the top dog on the level 1 of the operators.
Okay. The whole time you've known him, this 2 or 3 months, did he ever complain of anything, any medical issues whatsoever? I mean, did you ever pick up on anything? Is he allergic to anything? Does he have any, a special diet, anything that's messing with him physically?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, how about psychologically? Do you ever think there's something wrong with this guy?
No, I wouldn't have dated him if I did. He, honestly, I mean, maybe because I thought he was one of the most laid back and decent men I never met, and I just haven't met a lot of people like that. But I mean, no, not up until all this stuff started happening. Then I was like, whoa, you are not the person that I thought you were. But prior to that, no, not at all. I really didn't. I enjoyed his company.
You think he was dating anyone else?
No.
No way?
No.
Okay.
He was way too invested in that.
Was the relationship was it sexual right off the bat?
Pretty close. I mean, once we got it to be, where we're hanging out outside of work, yeah. I mean, it wasn't, immediate, but shortly following that, yes. And then it just continued.
Okay. Pretty consistently throughout the relationship.
Okay.
So kind of hot and heavy. You mentioned that maybe you guys were sending some photos back and forth. What kind of photos is he sending you?
Well, see, he would send me workout photos, stuff like that. He sent me a couple of inappropriate pics. I did not request those. I didn't even want them. I was just like, why do men do this?
What were they?
It was of his package. And I'm just like, okay, cool.
His face and everything, or just
no.
Okay.
No, that's it. But I think he only did that one time. I was just like, I don't even really want this. But usually he would just send me pictures, workout pics, progress pics stuff, and I would just kind of keep him updated, because he had some fitness goals in mind, so I was kind of trying to help him out with that.
Okay. When was the last time you guys were intimate?
Saturday.
Was that the Broncos game?
Uh-huh.
Where would that have taken place?
At my house.
when he went to go pick you up before heading up to...
He didn't pick me up. We drive my vehicle. But, yeah, prior to and immediately following afterwards. So it was like, he came to my house, it happened, and then we went out to dinner, and he came back to my house, happened again, and then he left.
Okay. Any other stressors in his life besides finances and that he mentioned?
I mean,
and his wife?
Just the fact that that she doesn't, like, let him openly communicate. I mean, but other than that, no. I mean, nothing that I really know of. We didn't, like, dive super deep into that stuff. It was just, like, occasionally there'd be a conversation where it would come up, and, I mean, it wasn't even really information that he wanted to provide. It was just, like, me being curious, like, why are you separating from her? This is good to know. Or, like, what are your finances like in case I end up building a life with you? But it was usually me, like, doing the inquiries, but I used to try not to be, like, super invasive about that stuff.
Mm-hmm. What are in your mind, again, just real quick, what are the things that really pop out to you that he would complain about his wife?
Just that she didn't listen to him. She, like, never listened to him. She always just, like, shut him off. Oh, and he told me once that she used to, like, kind of, like, talk shit to him in front of his kids, and his kids were starting to repeat it.
To give you an example?
Yeah, she said, what did she say? He said he tried to ask her for something, and ask her a question. I don't know, something. He didn't, like, dive super into this. This was, like, pretty early on, and she said, she told him to shut up and that he didn't know anything. And his kids started, like, repeating it. And he said that it made him really sad, and he realized that was when he needed to separate from her.
So, and he never, though, he said she was a good mom?
Yeah, I mean, he never complained about her being, like, a bad mom or neglectful or anything like that.
Abusive, anything like that?
Nothing. When it comes to, like, violence or anger or any of that, nothing. I mean, and he even said, like, yeah, like, so she kind of, like, gets bossy with me sometimes, but as far as, like, arguing back and forth, he's like, that never happens. He's like, we don't fight like that. So, I don't know. He seemed pretty, like, even-keeled with stuff, so.
Did they talk about how they discipline their kids at all?
I never asked. I felt like that was not my place.
And he never mentioned it?
Nope.
That's all I was going to ask. Making sure nobody else.
What time is it? I bet it's so late.
It's 8 o'clock.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's time to go. You have my card. Things will probably come to your mind in the next day, week, month, year, especially as you get some sleep and recover here. Please don't hesitate to call me. My email's on there. You can email me. The business phone number on there is not accurate. I used to work in our Pueblo office until
So what is it?
July. Just call my cell phone. I'm never in my office anyways.
Okay.
My cell phone will always be the same, so just call my cell phone. And I will respond to you as soon as I can. If you need to send an email, again, you can send an email to me. Okay? If I can help you in any way with some services to deal with the obvious trauma that you face, let me know, and I'll get you in touch with the people that can help you. Also, if you have issues with anybody intimidating you in any fashion, I will tell you right now, I have zero tolerance for that. Zero. I will charge anybody if I can prove it, and I will take them straight to jail. Period. You're not a suspect in anything. You're merely a witness. Unfortunately for you, you met a man who did some terrible things, and I won't stand for it. Through my career, period, zero tolerance. You will go straight to jail. You call me immediately, and I will handle it.
I appreciate that.
And finally, you probably eventually are going to get media inquiries.
When are you thinking this is going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen soon. I really don't. I will tell you today that there was an inquiry from a media member requesting to know if there was any other people involved in Chris's life. I think the story is they're searching, but there's only a multiple couple of times one-time reasons that somebody could think what would cause this.
Well, they're seeing the financial stuff. They're posting it.
Right.
I'm seeing it.
So I think there's a buffer for you for a couple of reasons. I told you today, I did not see the affidavit. I don't think your name was mentioned in it. There's no reason for it, I don't think, at this time for his arrest. When the affidavit becomes public, which I think they mentioned maybe early next week, that'll keep them media busy for a while.
Oh, so her name wasn't in it that you think?
I don't think your name
Mark
was
said he
in it.
didn't publish that thing yet, so if he has...
So I talked to Mark this morning, and I know he has not written a report. Now, I do know that he did talk to the people yesterday just regarding her, because it was important for some of the things we were doing yesterday. Again, I don't think your name appears in that report. But don't hold me to that. I didn't write the affidavit, but from what I know, it doesn't. So, at some point, your name is going to come out. I mean, there's just no way it's not. And like I told you,
So when do you think that is? Like when we take this to trial? Like at what point? Because nobody knows about this.
Right, but Chris does.
Yeah, I don't think he's in any rush to tell the media anything. I mean, maybe.
Is there mitigators that in his mind, or again, you got a phone call from the public defender's office, whether you talked to them or not, that's your business. You didn't?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you did.
I did not. I didn't know what to do. Mark said to ask you what to do.
Okay, so did they reach out to you?
Yep.
You can, your decision. You don't have to talk to them, or you can. I won't say either way. You have to make that decision for yourself.
I don't really know what to do. I feel like if I talk to them, they're either going to try to, like, find some holes in my story or try to get me to, like, be Chris's only ally, and I don't really feel like dealing with either one of those.
Then I think you've made up your mind.
Yeah, I don't
maybe confide in your father.
No, that's what we were talking
we
about.
already talked.
I can't really give you legal advice. They have every reason to want to talk to you. Just like if they got to you before I did, I would want to talk to you too. You understand what I mean? And I won't hamper what their investigation is or anything. They want information too, certainly. They have a client that they are trying to protect and make sure that everything that we're looking at is the same thing that they would want.
But they can get it from you.
They will get it from us.
So
it'll be in discovery. They'll get everything that we've talked about here. And that's, so when that happens, which is pretty short order, the reports that we will generate, everybody involved in this case will be sent to the public defender's office. I think at that time you might find that there could be some exposure for you. So I am not going to tell anybody who you are. If somebody called me today, I don't talk to the media. I don't have any business talking to the media. Mark has no business talking to the media. They don't need to know who you are. Your part in this is not relative to anything to the story. For me, it's nothing that they need to know, and I don't ever give information to anybody.
They're going to dwell on it, though. They're going to try to use that as his why. I don't think it's his why. I really don't.
That's why I asked you that question. You think his why is financial? And whether or not we ever know what his why is, I don't know.
Did he tell you guys what his why was?
I can't discuss it with you.
So, just a quick open question. The way the legal system runs, is it, if he totally confesses and pleads guilty, is there a reason for a trial, or do they just pack enough discoveries together that this proves what he said and he goes to a kind of court and it's done? Or
the purpose for discovery is we're obligated by law to share everything that we know with the public defender or a private attorney.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't go the other way. They don't have to share anything with us. So we are obligated to give them everything we have, no matter what happens. I can tell you right now, probably sometime early this week will be he's going to enter a plea. Either I'm guilty or not guilty. That will probably be sometime Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this coming week, I would imagine, from what I heard today. Now, it might be a little more delayed, and then that starts the legal process. So,
but if he pleads guilty,
could that happen today? Sure, certainly. I mean, he could go to his attorneys. You've seen it happen before. If he pleads guilty, is that information still available? Absolutely. because there's still got to be legal process regarding, is he competent to stand can he make that plea? Are the attorneys going to allow him to do so?
All the stuff.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
okay.
all that information still goes to them. And then that would play into, potentially what is the sentence, what could be the penalty. All those things have to be looked at by attorneys. So there is not them ever getting her name. It is going to be there at some point. And I don't know, I understand your fear. And that's why I told you that if anybody, I don't care if somebody calls you and says, anything minor, you call me and let me know, please. I will not stand for that.
Well,
okay.
I'm having.
So it would be the news people would only be the ones that, and of course they already know what to.
God, work is going to be such a mess too. That's going to be like a whole nother level. Like everybody at my work I heard was so like just damaged and broken today, and then it's like, let's just add Nikki into this whole mix. It's not going to be good for all of them, like mentally either. It's just going to be a mess.
Maybe your employer could transfer you to another business.
I think that's a fair statement. I will tell you right now that Anadarko has been very, very helpful with us and is very concerned about their employees in this event. And I'm tired too, but your employer definitely has an indication of your relationship with Chris, I would think.
They're not my employer.
Oh, that's right. You work for a different company.
Yeah, but you're saying Anadarko has a knowledge of that.
Well,
who are we talking about? Tasman or Anadarko?
I don't even know what Tasman is.
Tasman is the people that cut my check, and I'm contracted out to APC.
So I think people have suspicion that there was a relationship with Chris. Not saying you, but they may know that. I think there was some suspicion that he was having a relationship with somebody else. Not your name specifically, but if you went to your bosses and said, I have an issue that I don't, like your dad's saying, I think that you might find that they'll just get you out of there.
See, that's what we were talking about today, because they probably have a policy for psychological help. They probably have a policy for inquisitive, people bugging other employees. That's a big company with a lot of HR, and there's...
Do you have an employee assistance program?
I don't... Oh, yeah. So they were there all day today, but it's like I got so many calls today from
Those
people I work with.
That you can ask them anonymously, and that information is...
So that's what I was saying, because if...
So what am I supposed to do? Tell my boss?
Well, but your bosses are going to want rumor mongers. They're not going to want people stressing you out. They're not going to wait, but they don't want erratic workflow. They don't want any of that, so they'll probably do a broadcast letter of anybody that was friends, acquaintances of it, or anything else. Please respect that employee's feelings. And right there, and by the way, if any of you have problems, you can call Mickey Mouse at, and that's probably, they probably have a policy with that.
Here's the problem, though. I don't work for them.
But they can still.
But if I'm like, transfer me, like, they're going to be like, you're not even our employee. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm about to lose my job over this.
No, you're not going to. Why would you lose your job?
I don't know, because I feel like people are going to just complain about being uncomfortable with working with me. Like, I am not going to have any respect from anybody there. I think I'll have like 2 people that still...
You really didn't do anything wrong.
I had an affair with a married man who lied to me and made me believe that he really wasn't like as married as I think he was. But the media is not going to be so kind to let everybody know that. I think people are going to think I'm like the reason that he went off the deep end.